second, Putney Flyer, then Messiah Warrior and Balls.
Very interesting race that. We're chatting about Sage Throne. He ran into some traffic problems there, so he might be able to get a bit closer. Kolkata won, beating Night to Remember 3 parts of a length. And he looks to be a horse that's peaked at the right moment, Garth.
Yeah, he was my original fancy. Note a slight stamina doubt going beyond 3,000 or 2,800 worries me a little bit. Top rider. But if you look at that run, again you see Day to Remember, who's slightly better off at the weights, finishing strongly. All you need for a horse like Day to Remember to turn the tables is a little bit of rain, that kind of ground, and you could get a result. One must remember they raced down the inside there. The inside was superior to the middle and the outside, and the conditions weren't. I mean, the ground was dead and it was heavy. It might be completely different on Saturday, and that's going to count. I mean, we're looking at these reruns and we're looking at these horses, but come the day, if the rains come, you're going to get these kind of horses, or you're going to get something completely, a sound horse that's nicely weighted with the stamina.
Now, Joe, looking at number 11, Kolkata, he's always been there or thereabouts, but I've seen his last couple of runs blowing. Is that a little bit of a concern over the 3-2?
Yeah, it has to be a concern. Look, he won very well last time, even though he was blowing. So I don't know, they must have it under control, what it is, and you know, I'm sure Sean knows what he's doing there. Once again, I've got to agree with Garth here. He looks the horse that's got a big chance, but I'm not convinced he goes the 3-2. He did run in last year's Gold Cup of a lesser weight and finished, I think, 3 or 4 lengths behind them. And they went slow for him that day. Looking at that race again, a lot of horses came under pressure early in the straight. I thought it was a brilliant ride by Strydom there. He just held him together, he waited for the last possible moment, he got that little kick and seemed to get away from them. If you watch it again, I was very impressed with the way Blake was finishing on him, and I'm prepared to stick my neck out and say I think Blake will beat him in the Gold Cup on Saturday. But he's a runner. He's a runner. Once again, I can't put anyone off if they do fancy it.
There we go. That's number 11, Kolkata. Moving on to number 12, Dubai Gina. This is from the Vaughan Marshall stable. Now, if you go 4 runs back in the JMB day, she finished second to Ilse and Pietro. And Garth, that last run, things didn't map out for her with the blinkers on.
Yeah, it's another horse that's got no stamina doubts. Yeah, I think she's. I mean, it's hard to fault these horses because, like I say, this is a very competitive field. But come the day, if she takes her chances and she's right, she puts her best foot forward, she'll be there.
Do you give her a quartet chance, Joe?
And I've got to say no. I don't think she's done well through this the winter season here in Natal. In Cape Town, I think her forms was a lot more consistent. And also, it's a big weight to carry for a filly, 55.5, giving weight to a couple of the really proven stayers. I think she'll battle.
On to number 13, which is Masai Warrior. This is from the Michael Azzi stable. We know he stays well. He's gone close over the 3,200-meter trip. Is this a candidate for perhaps the minor placings?
It's got to be. I mean, he's a horse that's beaten Seal over 2.8. No problem with the stamina. He'll come here fit. It's, yeah, I mean, he's just got to be lucky, that's all.
It's another one of those horses that fits somewhere into the mix. You're not quite sure if he's got a quartet chance or he's going to finish 6th or 7th. But like Garth said, any of these horses would have a realistic chance.
Yeah, as I say, we go back. We said it's a very open field. Drawn 16, hoping he jumps and goes. I think the pace, he could be the horse that everyone, the pace revolves around. I think he's the type of horse, if they go the right pace with this horse and sort of run it to suit himself. He's a horse that stays on. He's very gutsy. He's very consistent. Obviously got a chance. Once again, I think that the horses that were finishing, he was stopping in the Gold Vase, but the others were finishing. I think he'll battle.
Number 14 is Adobe Pink, and this is from the Neil Bruss stable. She's a daughter of Go Deputy. Now, just looking at her recent form, she's turned the corner, but has the handicapper caught up with her?
Yeah, I just looking at it, and I think she's a little bit unfairly dealt with. I mean, I would have really thought a filly like this would come into the race on 53 or something, and be competitive. This filly's done nothing wrong. In fact, she's probably competitive still. The handicapper has a habit of proving us wrong, but I don't think he's done a good job with this filly. And I think she's a smart filly.
Do you agree with that?
110%.
There we go.
As a trainer, and Garth, I think will agree with me. Yeah, you plan these races 3-4 months, 3-4 months ago. Neil Bruss was saying today that he thought this filly would come in with 52 kilos on his back. She's done well forward. She's getting stronger and stronger all the time. All of a sudden to come in with 55 kilos, I think is very, very unfair. To me, it's close to being a travesty of justice. That where they found these 3 kilos from, where they found a filly like this to carry this kind of weight, I think is very unfair. But in saying that, she's got the winning factor. She's won 4 in a row. She's brimming with confidence. The stable's in form. Once again, a very underrated trainer. Neil Bruss knows what he's doing. My only concern is at the weight that she's got to carry against the colts, and I think that might just be a downfall at the end of the day.
Moving on to number 15, this is Wagner from the Joe Soma stable. He is a son of Tiger Ridge. Garth, looking at that last run, chatting to Joe, things didn't map out for him with E-Jet cutting throats.
No, I can tell you, if you're in front and you've got someone sitting on your shoulder, and you're trying to get the horse to come back to you, it's a nightmare. I mean, obviously it won't. They run out of gas, they over race. Joe will know more about the stamina. I mean, he's a summer handicap winner. He's obviously in the race with a chance. Joe will tell us about the stamina.
Scott, I'll be honest with you, I never ever thought that he'd get 2 miles. But what happened was when Anthony Delpes rode in behind Run For It in the mile, got off and told me he might run a good race. He'll run a good race in the July, felt good, he said, but he feels more of a Gold Cup horse. And he actually planted the seed in my mind, let's go for the Gold Cup. And, you know, you trust and respect a man like that's judgment. No pressure. If it doesn't run anywhere, it's not the end of the world. At least we're trying it. We're here for the season. He's well weighted. I still don't believe he's a 96. I think that he's achieved a lot higher than that in past races. If he stays, I think he could be a decent runner. I think he could be in the first 4. But I've still got to be, someone's still got to totally convince me that he does get the 2 miles. But we're going to ride him differently this time. That's why I believe that Masai Warrior holds the key to my race. And if something goes and I can just tuck in second, third, he's got a decent draw. I'm hoping that he finishes in the money, but with not too much confidence.
On to number 16, which is Jeppy's Reef. This is from the Mike Bass stable. He was up there for a long way in the Vars and then just faded out late on. He had his heels clipped late, I see in the computer form.
Yeah, look, this is a horse that's got stamina and a stable that knows how to train Gold Cup winners and long distance winners. He's a proven stayer. If he comes well, he's got a chance.
Joe, what's your sentiments on Jeppy's Reef?
Once again, I'm not convinced he stays the 2 miles. He seems to be a best over 2.4, 2.5. He's a year older. He did run in last year's Gold Cup as well. He's a year older. You know, obviously sometimes these older horses, or these horses that stay, they get stamina as they get older. Robbie Fred takes the ride. He's, you know, top jock, nice draw. Just don't know if he's got enough class to win a race like this, but I wouldn't be shocked if he does. I think a quartet horse maybe.
He beat Blake once, huh?
That's
Over
right.
2.8.
Yeah, just looking at it. Yeah.
He beat Blake over 2.8. So you got to think that, you know, if, depending on how the races run. But like I say, these races are a true test of stamina. At some stage, they're all going to be at their top.
You can run this race 10 times over, you'll get 10 different results.
You'd probably get 7 different results. Okay. You're going to get those 1 or 2 they'll stick their neck out on a hard run, 3-2, and win it again.
Number 17, Patriotic Rebel, talking about a hard knocker. He's a 3-year-old going over this marathon trip. But just watching that replay of his last run, he's got that Mike de Kock factor. Yeah,
definitely. Look, I mean, I'm hoping for Mike that he sees out the 3-2, and he obviously knows. He saw something in him when he ran in the Cape Derby and bought him. And he showed that now the last run was a brilliant run. But it's not easy for a 3-year-old. And he's got to bring his A game, I think, to the races on Saturday to win.
From that draw, do you think he's going to find it quite tricky?
Top jockey, I think he'll be in the right place. He's fit, you know, that if you look at it, he's having his 5th run with Mark, started off at a 1400, just got better and better as they went along. Last time, sort of just run out of it by, I think, a fair horse, even though he was getting quite a lot of weight from the winner, Master Plan. You see, once again, he's a horse that could be improving at the right time against those older, staying type of horses that have reached their limit. And if he makes a little bit more improvement, I think that he could be a serious runner. Top jock, top trainer. I think he'll stay. I definitely think that he's one of the serious contenders in the race, no doubt in my mind.
Number 18 is Scoop the Pool, and this is a son of Opera King. Now, he's won over the 3,000 meter journey. He's got pole position. Do you think he could scoop the pool?
I don't really. Be nice for Com if he could. I just think I think he's meeting stiff opposition here, but he does have the stamina. And like I said, they've come from Port Elizabeth to win here. Doesn't matter. This is a horse that has no stamina doubts.
Joe, what's your look on number 18, Scoop the Pool?
Look, he's got it all to do, but he's in his favour is that he's a stayer. He's one of those horses that'll stay all day. You know, in January he was a maiden, we were battling to win but as he's gone further and further, and as I say, once they get older, these horses, the stamina comes into account. If you look, he's 1.5 lengths behind River Crossing. If you give River Crossing a chance, you've got to give him a chance. Number 1 draw, Alec Forbes has won a Gold Cup with Highland Knight in the past. I think he'll battle, but once again, being an open race, we've seen worse things happen in the game. I wouldn't be. It'll be nice for Com to win, as God says, but I think he might have his work cut out.
Number 19 is Canterbury Tale, a son of Gray's Inn. 3 runs back, he beat Seal over the 3,200 in the Gold Bowl, so he certainly sees out the trip.
Yeah, this is my Mark de Kock horse that I think is the main contender. I think this is a big runner. I know he's only won 3 races, but I think this is a big runner. No problem with stamina. Third run after a slight break, a month or two, and I think he'll put his best foot forward.
Joe, number 19, Canterbury Tale, is he one of your selections?
I think that last run swings me off completely. Maybe he's just one of those that never acted in the going on the day, so you maybe can excuse him from that. He's proven himself over the 3-2, which is especially the Turpentine, the 2-mile race. Not well weighted with Seal, if you look at it from that point of view. But as I say, he's a younger horse, also improving. He might be able to turn it around. It worries me that Anthony Delpesh has gone off him to ride Patriotic Rebel. Does it tell us something? Does the horse run for Raymond Danielson, because he did win the Gold Bowl on him? Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. Also, just don't know if he's got enough class to maybe win a race like this off these weights. But in the same breath, certainly wouldn't be shocked if Anthony is on the wrong one and he does win. But as I say, definitely the stamina is there, the fitness is there, and it's got to be a runner as well.
Then on to number 20, which is Night to Remember. This is from the Duncan House stable. He's a 6-year-old gelding. Now, Garth, looking at his last run, he seemed to turn the corner nicely, and he was running on through the horses.
Yeah, you know, I think Duncan's been waiting a while. I mean, this horse obviously showed a hell of a lot. They were going to take this up for the summer handicap and for the Gold Bowl, and things went wrong. But looking at his last run, this was finished faster than all of them. And one makes him and maybe Blake, if you take it out of the Kolkata run, or probably the 2 horses to follow here. I think he might prefer the ground a bit soft. He obviously enjoyed the ground on the day. We don't know what's coming for Saturday, but if there's a cut in the ground, don't leave him out of anything.
Number 20, Night to Remember. He's won 3 races in the soft of his 6 runs. So, Joe, obviously they'll be looking for a bit of rain, but at this stage it's quite dry.
Yeah, that's dry. They say that they're expecting rain sort of around 6, 7 o'clock on Saturday night. So I don't know if it will be, wet on the for the race. You've got to remember, 2 years ago, this horse ran 3rd to Aslan in the Gold Cup. So he's got the class to win a race like this. Coming to form at the right time. As Garth correctly says, seems to show his best form on the soft go, and he might have been one of those horses that maybe ran a little bit above his form the last start because the going suited his style. So if he gets that kind of going on Saturday, he's a big runner. If he doesn't, he might be a little bit disappointing. But once again, I think Duncan's done a great job here with this horse because he's had tendon problems, and it's a trainer's nightmare, those tendons, So to get him back and to be a contender in a race like this, my hat goes off to him, and job well done.
Garth, what would be your top 4 selections? Looking at the race, it's very, very open. If you can narrow it down to 4 horses who will probably run into the quartet?
Blake. I'd go with Mr. Ferraris' horse for one of the minor placings. I think he'll come very fit. Let me see. I like Canterbury Tale. And I'm not gonna leave a horse like Calcutta out. Calcutta, Shogunna, those are the 2 that I think will fill the minor placings.
That's great from Garth Puller. And then Joe